Ag Week Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Can we expect these cooler summer days to last? Here's John with our AgriWeather outlook.
The weather across North America will really focus on something known as the Hudson Bay Low. Now, that's not an unusual statement, except it kind of is for the middle of summer, and I'll explain that coming up. Hot weather will continue in the southern plains. It's been a scorching summer in the southern plains, Texas in particular. That's not changing during this period. And the east, which has had rain, flooding rains, serious rains, will continue to be the wettest part of the United States. Other areas, though, will be getting rainfall. I'll show you where. Here's the story. The Hudson Bay Low is this deep circulation, which is not unusual for it to be up here. The cool waters of Hudson Bay just naturally create an area of upper level low pressure up there, draws cool temperatures down. But this summer, this low has been especially strong. During May and June, it was up further north and east, still strong, but further north and east, and that was allowing a lot of hot temperatures to build up. Western Canada and the north central plains. Lately, it's dropped south and it has cooled down. Well, now it's cool again for this week, so we're seeing sort of nominally mild weather in the northern plains and a lot of cool weather in Manitoba and Ontario. And by cool, 40s, 50s, and 60s. You get down into North Dakota, Minnesota, and it's mostly 70s with the occasional stray 80-degree day. We'll get a couple days in the 80s, it looks like. But gradually, we're starting to see this week high-pressure ridge building in the west and this Hudson Bay Low retreating a little bit. And that's going to be warming up the northern plains and allowing this really hot weather to begin expanding northward. But it doesn't look like the pattern is going to favor a lot of really hot weather into the northern plains. There may be an odd day that gets to near 90, but most of North Dakota, Minnesota will be 80s, much hotter weather from Kansas and Nebraska, and the hot heat wave will continue in Texas. Southeast, of course, typically hot this time of year. Most of the Corn Belt, Bean Belt, just sort of nominally warm. A lot of 80s and around 90 degrees, nothing unusual, and it will continue to be hot along the interior of the western states, with this weather pattern shaping up like this. As we move into the second week, I do start to see some changes, more ridging taking shape, the Hudson Bay Low almost disappearing in the northeast again, which will allow warmer temperatures to come northward. But at least through July, I don't see a lot of extraordinarily hot weather north. Some warm days for sure, but the real heat will continue to be across the south. Now, as far as rainfall goes, the East Coast will continue to have the stormy weather and really have the monopoly on that. There will be an array of showers, thunder showers this week in the northern plains, probably not an extraordinary amount of that. And the West Coast will continue to be dry. The second week, that dry weather will expand eastward. It'll continue to be fairly rainy in the east and across the Corn Belt.